One of the most asked questions that I get is, how do I stay organized as an entrepreneur, as a wife, etc.? And in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you the one piece of advice that changed my business and my life forever. So if you're interested in what that is, as well as my other organizational tips, then you want to stay tuned. Coda is amazing. It is an all-in-one solution that allows you to organize your life and your business seamlessly with integrations. Hey Hustle Babes, I'm Chanel the Brand Hustler, and this is a channel for all of my hustle babes who are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneur journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. If that sounds like you, make sure that you mark your calendar for Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, because that is when your girl drops a new video. And also hit the subscribe button so that you can join the Hustle Babe community. Today's video is going to be thebomb.com because we are talking about how you can stay organized to ensure that you smash all of the business and life goals that you have. In particular, I will be sharing one piece of advice that has changed my business for the better, okay? This has allowed me to make six figures, and it has allowed me to hit over $500,000 in just over 2 years. So if you're interested in what that one piece of advice is, you want to make sure that you watch this entire video, because that is going to be my final tip that I give you today. So how today's video is going to work is I've broken down my organizational advice into 7 tips, with the last tip being the most life-changing, I promise you, okay? If you are excited for today's video, make sure that you go ahead and give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below telling me, how do you stay organized right now? So let me know so that we can chat it up in the chat section. Now, let's get into this video. Tip number 1 is to make a weekly business and personal goal list. It's important for you to go into the week with a destination in mind. When you go into the week blindly, you end up doing blind tasks or getting sidetracked because you did not have a destination in mind. When you create a weekly goal list for your business, you are able to say, okay, by Friday, or if you work on Saturdays, by Saturday, I want to accomplish X, Y, Z. That is giving you a destination, which means you are able to set time each and every day to work toward getting to that destination. Does that make sense? Versus going into the week without any goals set for the week, and you're just doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. You will end up feeling unfulfilled once the week is over, and honestly, then it leaves you unmotivated, a little confused, and you lose that momentum, which will greatly affect your business. Now, an important part to this weekly goal setting thing is to share your weekly goals with an accountability partner. This can be a business bestie, this can be your significant other, whoever it is. It needs to be a person that can hold you accountable, that can check up on you, and also that will celebrate with you when you accomplish all of these weekly goals that you set out to do. Within the eHustle Club, which is my membership club, we actually share our weekly goals with each other. That way we do Wednesday midweek check-ins, and if anyone needs help or is stuck or needs an extra push, we can be there to support each other within the group. Now, tip number 2 is to use the goals that you just planned out for the week to create a brain dump of tasks that need to be completed that week, okay? So remember, goals are big picture accomplishments that you would like to achieve. The tasks are the things that need to be done to make that goal happen, right? So that means maybe you have the goal of scheduling all of your August content on Instagram and TikTok, right? Because you have that goal, you may have the task of, okay, planning out the content, researching some content, taking the actual pictures, recording the actual videos, creating the captions. All of those are different tasks that will help you accomplish that big picture goal that you set for the week of actually mapping out all of your content for Instagram and TikTok. Does that make sense? So when you're brain dumping all of your tasks, it's important for you to not keep them up in your head. Like, because I know some people like that, where you'll keep the task in your head and you're like, okay, I need to accomplish this, accomplish that, but you never actually get it out of your head and make it plain. So you need to write it somewhere, which leads me to tip number 3. And that tip is to notate everything. Every idea, every plan, every task needs to be notated. Write everything down. Trust me, just because you think of something right now does not necessarily mean that you will remember that exact thought in that exact way a day from now or even an hour from now. So it's important for you to notate all of that, okay? And so where you brain dump does matter, because I'm a person where I have a bunch of notebooks and I got accustomed to writing everything down in a bunch of different notebooks. However, that isn't the best way to do it, simply because sometimes these notebooks get lost. Sometimes when I revisit my notebook, I can't even read what I wrote. Because I have a team, or because I sometimes outsource certain work, it's hard for me to communicate the thoughts or the ideas that I had, because everything is written down in this book, and then I have to take the time to type it over again or figure out what I wrote or figure out where it is. And it is the worst feeling in the world to have spent so much time on something that you end up losing because you lost a notebook or something like that, right? Which is why when I found this tool called Coda, I was so excited, because I started doing all of my brain dumping on Coda instead. And so Coda.io is actually the sponsor for today's video, and I'm gonna take some time to tell you about all of the ways that you can use Coda to organize your business and your life. First things first, Coda is amazing. It is an all-in-one solution that allows you to organize your life and your business seamlessly with integrations, right? So for example, I was using a bunch of different tools for different things in my business. I had a tool to create spreadsheets. I had a tool to create documents. I had a tool to create forms. I had a tool to manage my team. I had a tool to plan my content. I don't need any of those tools anymore, because Coda allows me to combine all of that into one place. Not only does that save me money, but that saves me time as well. And y'all, time is money when we're talking about organization, when we're talking about productivity. Time is money. And Coda allows me to get a lot of my time back, because it is an innovative powerhouse of a solution. I use Coda, for example, to track my business budget. And the cool thing about my business budget is it syncs to my actual business account. So I can see every transaction that runs through pulled to that budget. And that allows me to ensure that what I budgeted for certain categories are actually being done. Not only that, but I use Coda to take notes for my clarity call, and I share those notes with my clients. I use Coda to brain dump all of my tasks and keep me on track for the week. I use Coda to plan my content. I use Coda to create big picture ideas for campaigns. I use Coda for so much, y'all, that it would be a disservice if I didn't hop behind my computer and show you guys some of the ways that I actually use Coda in my business. So let's go. Welcome to my Coda workspace. One of the cool things that I love about Coda is that they give you templates to jumpstart your creation process. So as you can see, there are templates ranging from a simple to-do list all the way to a two-way write-up, and then meeting notes for you for your team. I want to take the time to highlight my holy grail documents that I created in Coda. The first one is my task tracker. This right here is something that I use on a daily basis, because it allows me to see what tasks I've already completed in the past, as well as a task calendar, which shows me for the month what I have coming up, my weekly snapshot, which previews everything that I have to do for the week, as well as shows me based on my task where I'm spending the time in my business. So as you can see, I have them color coded based on different segments of my business. And I love to see when I spend a lot of time on strategy because that makes me feel good inside. Now, the daily dashboard breaks down what tasks I need to do for the day, and it allows me to track whether I've started on them or whether I have already completed them. The next document that I absolutely love and use in Coda all the time is my brain dump notepad. This is where all of my strategies come alive. This is where I brain dump all of my content. All of those ideas are brain dumped into this notepad. I then keep track of my budget with this budget spreadsheet that I'm not gonna open right now, but I really wanna show you guys something cool, which is the ability to create forms in Coda. This is a form that I created for the eHustle Club members to submit their Instagram reels for audit. And I created all of this within Coda. So the ladies in the eHustle Club were able to get a link and then submit all of this information to me. And then I'm able to track all of their responses within Coda. So you can create a form for your customers or clients or your team members and have it live all within one place. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is something that I believe changes the game so much, and that is the Shopify inventory tracker. If you sell products or if you plan on selling products, you already know that you're going to have to come up with pricing for these products, and you're also going to need to make sure that you keep track of your inventory. This is actually a template that I copied from another Coda creator. I haven't used it yet. This is for my up and coming new business. But once I have that business, I'm going to sync my Shopify account to this, and it will update my inventory levels and all that jazz automatically. And I can use this instead of a spreadsheet such as Excel or something to actually track my inventory. Now, I mentioned that this was a template that I got from another Coda creator, and that brings me to the gallery that Coda has. So you can actually go to a gallery and find any template that you're looking for, right? So let's say I wanted to look for a content calendar of some sort. I type it in, and as you can see, I already have one that popped up. I have another option called marketing and content. I have a content library, and you can browse these templates and pick which one works for you. Copy the template, and then you can manipulate it to tweak certain things so that way it works for you, your business, and your lifestyle. As you can see from that short snippet, I use Coda for so much in my business. So trust me when I say that it is a tool that can help you get organized and stay organized as an entrepreneur. The best part about Coda is that they have a free plan, so you can get started for $0. Now, I am on the pro plan, so I pay about $10 a month to unlock even additional features such as more powerful automations, a larger gigabyte database, and things like that. But you can get started on the free plan, start creating documents, and then as your business and your team grows, you can go ahead and upgrade to one of the paid plans on Coda. Go ahead and open up the link in my description box so that you can get started today. Now let's get back to the tips. So tip number 4 is to plan as much as you can in advance. A failure to plan is a plan to fail, y'all. So make sure that you are taking the time to plan out your content in advance, plan out your campaigns in advance, plan out the themes of your photo shoots in advance, plan out the new product releases that you're going to drop in advance. Do as much of advanced planning as you can so that you can reduce the room for error and increase your efficiency and your success rate. One of the most important things that I want to stress when we're talking about this planning in advance thing is your content. I hear so many complaints about content not converting or not getting engagement. And when I ask that particular person, okay, well, when did you actually plan this content out? Did you do any batching or anything? The answer more than likely is always no, that they've planned on the whim, or they've just took their phone and posted something random and thought that it would convert for them. Take the time to plan out everything, including your content. Now, Tip number 5 is to make a CEO schedule. This is something that I learned from Tatiana, who is an operations coach, and this has changed a lot for me in my business. So basically what a CEO schedule is, it is you dictating what days you're doing what. So that means maybe you want a specific day for content. Maybe you want a specific day for all of your meetings. Maybe you want a specific day to do everything inventory wise, such as tracking inventory, taking inventory pictures, uploading the inventory to your website. Whatever task that you may have, what you do is you compile those tasks into related subgroups, and then you title your days based on the subgroup, and you go ahead and execute the task for that day. Does that make sense? So for me, Mondays are internal days. I have all of my team meetings. Anything internal strategy wise that needs to be built out needs to happen on Monday. My content days are Fridays and Wednesdays. So anything content related has to happen on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then I have other days as well, such as the eHustle Club days or Thursdays. So build out your CEO calendar, and you will see that you are able to set boundaries with other people, and you're also able to stay on track with what you need to get done. Now that leads me to tip number 6, and that is to actually use your calendar. We have calendars on our computer, on our phones. Personally, I even have a calendar on my refrigerator, and we're not using them to the full potential, okay? So my tip is to use your calendar to put important events on there, put important meetings on there, put important appointments, time block if that's something that will help you, so that you know, okay, between this and this time on this day, I wanna dedicate this hour or two to brainstorming content or brainstorming a campaign, and have that be your time to do that particular thing. The cool thing about Coda as well is there are some docs on there that actually sync to different calendars, and they will allow you to see where your time is being spent, so that way you can reflect on that time and adjust your time to make sure that you're increasing your productivity levels week after week, which is super cool. Now, the last and final tip, and probably the most life-changing, business-changing tip that I have for you, tip number 7, is to focus on creating systems and not just setting goals. We fall into the habit of saying, I want to accomplish this, so I want to make 6 figures, or I want to see $10,000 in sales this month, or I want to be able to plan out my content for the whole month. But we fail because we don't have the right systems in place. So the way that goals and systems differ is that goals are the big picture accomplishments that we want to achieve, and systems are those everyday habits, those everyday processes that we need to continuously do so that we are able to achieve that big picture goal. So for example, maybe I want to be consistent with content, and so I have the goal of mapping out my entire content for the month of August. A system that I may need to develop is my actual content planning workflow. So saying that I need to take time to brainstorm, I need to take time to content dump, I need to take time to take pictures, videos, research, create captions, and mapping out that workflow on a tool like Coda, so that way I can monitor the workflow and what's done and what needs to get done. That way I am staying true to my system, and I end up building a habit each and every time I need to create content, because I'm working through that workflow that I created on a tool such as Coda. Does that make sense? So systems are the habits that you develop in order for you to be able to reach those big picture goals. Now, y'all, those are my 7 tips for organization for you. Trust me, if you use these tips, you will see a difference in your business and even in your life. So now I want you to take the time out to comment down below. If you made it to the end of the video, comment down below life-changing tips, and that will show me that you are a true hustle babe that made it all the way to the end. A huge thank you again to Coda for sponsoring today's video. I am so happy that they decided to work with your girl, because I absolutely love Coda from the bottom of my heart. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscription button, share this video with someone that you know it can help, and make sure that you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at the Brand Hustler, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye, Hustle Babes. Talk to you later.